Hey, everybody, happy Thursday. All right. Holy cow. This is absolutely amazing. This is what I was kind of watching the other day when I sold my shorts. So, I believe now we are officially living Groundhog Day. Everything just repeats constantly. I mean, my brother sent this to me last night. It said top news, China and U.S. agree to meet again. And this is literally right well, actually, you know what? It's right after they said that they weren't going to do it, and then China said we refuse to bend to any type of U.S. pressure and blah 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 blah. But again, we live in a world that is, I think it's just becoming so seems to be so manufactured. And what's really interesting, and this is again why I love technicals. So I believe, and not do I believe, it's essentially, at least in my world, it's been proven over and over again that charts lead news. So if you guys remember, like a couple months ago, I was just like, it was like 3 days in a row where I was calling headlines the day before they would happen. And are any of you shocked? We have this horrible bear flag, which I still believe will play out to the downside, even on today's move, because the volume has been super low. Like I've been showing you guys, as we go up, the volume dies off. But is anyone surprised that we were slammed into this trend line again? And then all of a sudden, this is just timed perfectly, that this, the same headline. How many times have we seen this headline? 1,000 times. And then on no volume, we spike up. So we are now officially, that gap I was talking about just got blown out. And we are now, there are some more gaps up here. So now I'm looking, I actually took a short this morning on the SPY. You've got pivots down here like 297. And there is one more gap here up at like 299.91. So I started a position today and I'm going to add up to 300. It is very possible that we go up and just take out new highs. I'm not going to be shocked anymore if that happens, but it's incredible. So my phone was, I didn't sleep much last night. I'm like so excited about what's going on because I get to get a sweet short entry here. My silver positions, this is just, as I tell you guys, like, so I don't stare at my screen all the time. I set all these alerts. So silver is collapsing down today, and rightfully so, right? It got massively overextended. And again, I'm a huge silver bull long term, but this is a fantastic educational, I don't know what the word is, tip, or just use this as education, that it is incredibly important if you're a trader to not get super emotionally attached to your positions. Now, you don't necessarily have to sell your positions, but it is good to sometimes hedge or short. So if I pull up the SLV chart, so I think I did this in the video yesterday. Let me scroll out here a bit. There was some gaps and some pivots over here going back a couple years, about 3 years, 2016. We touched it almost to the penny yesterday. So this top trend line here was at 1839. And what did we hit yesterday? Where is it here? These charts are always so different. It's so annoying. Okay, there, 1835, right? So we missed it by 4 cents, and now we gap down. We filled that gap, and I think I'm going to hold this until we get a little bit lower, and probably sell around here. So someone was asking me in the comment section yesterday, where do you think you're going to sell silver? And I said low 17s, and this is SLV, excuse me. So I think this will pull back a little bit. However, I'm up about $1,200 already just on this little move on silver. So I may just sell this because I don't want to hold on to it too long, because I really want to start getting short of the market. If you guys remember too, I haven't talked about the VIX all that much. I did when I stopped out of my VIX, I think like a week or so ago, I said I thought it would almost for sure pull back to the 50 here. Now we're getting very close. If it does, there's a gap here. There's a pivot right here. There's also some chop here, and you got the 50, right? So I think, I don't know if you can see that. Maybe we can zoom in. It's a little bit easier for you guys. So this gap here on the VIX, if you guys want to trade the VIX at 25.46, I have a feeling it'll come down here and pierce the 50 though. And then there's just this other low pivot here that may come down and touch. So I would like to start buying the VIX somewhere between like 25.50 down to, a little bit under 25. Like maybe if you could get it at like 24.75 or something would be fantastic. But that's a good range, I think, to accumulate. because you had huge buying over here, and you can see the volume, and it's just dropped off as it started to roll over. This is incredibly common. Now, if this is the case, then we're going to pull back a little bit on the VIX. And if you guys, the VIX, if you're unfamiliar with it, the ticker symbol I trade is VXX, and it's a fear index. This means that fear is coming out of the market, right? And that would make sense if you go look over at the SPY. So there's no volume float, meaning it's just the small guys buying again, right? And remember, in the Commitment of Traders report, when I said I was looking at that, those guys are probably getting short down here. Now, they've ripped this higher on them before they pull the rug out. So I am just like frothing at the mouth here. I think this is literally the last move. Well, I think this is the last move up before an epic move down. But again, I could be wrong, and they may push this up to a new high. And the reason I say I could be wrong here, my brother sent me this, and I don't know who this is. I don't have any affiliation with this guy. His name is, or his channel here, it's a smaller channel like ours, but that doesn't mean his information is poor. It's called the Delta Report, and he said has quantitative easing begun again? And he went in and he used the Fed's own data. Let me see if I can pull up his chart here. This is bond buying. So like right here, he was just kind of, and then again, I've never listened to this guy before, but he was like, what is this? So this is bond buying. The Federal Reserve's bond portfolio has increased. So it's very possible that other day where I was like, I think something super weird going on in the options market. Maybe we got news really behind the scenes that the Fed is just going to do quantitative easing and not telling anyone, which is why we're popping up here. However, again, you guys know I like my numbers. We got 1, 2, 3 bars up here, huge gaps on what? Has there anything fundamentally changed in the market? No. So we have gone from down here. What was the low here? Oh, I'll try to get it. We'll round up 282 up to 297. That is an epic move on what news? This thing that has, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, this is a joke to me. It's almost like, yeah, like I said, it's like Groundhog Day. It's incredible that this just keeps happening. Now, is this actually going to play out? It's possible. And maybe if this does play out, we go up to a new high. I just have a feeling they're going to, I don't know. It doesn't even make sense to me anymore. I can't believe that they just keep doing this. I mean, this is how our 401ks are traded. You just float out the same news over and over again and to push up stocks while the macroeconomic data gets worse. So super weird. I did short Uber again this morning, so I'm into about a 2/3 position. If we can just get up a little bit above like 33, I'm going to add another third position, and I think Uber is going to really perform to the downside. Now, I'm also incredibly happy because I'm up substantially on my silver shorts. Finally, pause, for me anyway, is pulling back. So this is what I wanted to see. Again, this thing is up about like, I don't even remember what it was. It's up like 70+% from the bottom here, almost like 100%, right? I almost got up to 20 from 10. But we're putting in a big topping stick today. So I am looking for a sizable pullback. I think there's a gap right here around 16. You got the 382 retrace. I would love to start building a position and pause around 16 if we can come down that low. And I also shorted GDX, like I said, right into that gap. Now, it did go slightly above it, but it's putting in 2 little tails up there, and this is a pretty nasty looking candle, and I think it could pull back easily to like 20, 25 or so. And people, again, they just think of this logically, right? So let's say you're into silver, and I have to be honest, I have a slight advantage over the average person, especially when I'm trading silver. I get texts, I get phone calls, I get emails. I can read your guys' comments, and I can see in the comment section, the emails, the text I'm getting, people were basically euphoric. So, even when I put that, in the title, I shorted silver, people were like, oh, that's kind of crazy that you're doing that. It's not that crazy when almost everybody, including myself, and I've said this before on the channel, I trade counter to my own emotions. I'm a contrarian to my own emotions. So like silver starts going up, right? And my Helka mining stock was up like 45%. Anytime I start to think about like what I can buy with my gains, it's a trigger for me to go, maybe it's getting overextended. And then I get flooded with texts and emails and phone calls about how I made so much money in silver. And I go, all right. And I go look at the chart. It's massively overextended in the short run. That's why I shorted. Now, this is another interesting chart here, and then I'll drop off because I actually want to watch the market. I want to get into some more positions. But there's actually a lot going on here. So we had consolidation, right? So remember I was saying in yesterday's video, we put in a new high, very common for something to drop. You do consolidation just above that high. Now this is an hourly chart, okay? But the time frames don't matter. This could be daily, weekly, monthly. It all plays out the same. Consolidates above, and right when it decided to, like, look at that. So right here was the breakout. It's right at that red candle. They shoot it up, right? Go sideways for a little bit, shoot it back up. Now, what you have here is a head and shoulders pattern, right? You can also see it's a little bear flag that played out into another bear flag, which is now starting to tank. And it's when it broke this neckline here, you can see that big bar. There was a one move up that's like a fake out, and then just starting to move into a bigger decline here, because all of these people, that I'm saying were euphoric, were buying up here, and the smart money will sell into that, and they will accumulate again lower. So I have a feeling, because of all this consolidation here, silver, and this is ticker, this is spot silver, not SLV. Actual silver, I think, could pull back to like 1860, possibly down here around 18. You also have the 200 kind of coming up in here into support, and I think it'll get bought up here again. So it's not that much more of a fall, and that would kind of coincide. Look at this thing; it's up to two. I'm gonna sign off here. I'm gonna add a position here. I kind of hope we can get up to, like, what's the volume today here? I hope we can get up to like 300. Volume 7 million. What time is it? Yeah, that's light volume again. That's not very good volume. Usually when we have like bigger volume, it's up over 10 million in the first half hour, and there's no science behind it. Just kind of watching average daily volume. But this is another no volume ramp move, and I would love it if we got up here. But I already took a position short, and I still believe we are going to go down and like at least come down into this range, like this. Actually, sorry, not right there. At least a 280 where the 200 is. But again, you never know. So if this guy is right, and we've done quantitative easing on the quiet side, and all those options that I was buying the other day, where the market was down and there was no professional money coming in. Maybe they knew that was going on, right? Or maybe they knew that we were going to float this news out. It's very possible. It's very easy just to phone call, give a bank a phone call, say, hey, we're going to float this news out, and we're going to push up stocks higher, and hopefully get more of the general populace in so you guys can exit your larger position. So with that, I'm going to sign off. See you guys.